Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna review the Freddy Krueger. This is by Sideshow Collectibles, and this is obviously for the 40th anniversary, or I think last year was the 40th anniversary. This one was just released last week. This is the Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the 4K version of all the 7 movies, and I saw the first 2, and damn, the quality is fantastic. So I recommend, if you're a Freddy fan, I recommend getting this box set. It's incredible, a little bit pricey, it's $100 but I'm pretty much sure it's gonna go down in price. So yeah, if you're a Freddy fan, make sure to buy this. So yeah, let's look at the box here as usual. Very nice box by Sideshow. It's very thin. I like the artwork. Again, it's not clear from what movie this is supposed to be, but obviously because it only says right there A Nightmare on Elm Street. But this is obviously from supposed to be from the 3rd movie, The Dream Warriors. So obviously the sweater is not accurate, but the head is very accurate to the Dream Warriors. So again, very nice shot of the box right there. Again, it says The Nightmare on Elm Street, so a lot of people might think it's from the 1st movie, but in the 1st movie he didn't have stripes on the sleeves, and also the makeup was different. So yeah, very nice box. Obviously, again, Nightmare on Elm Street. What I like about these, they are so small that what I do is I display these behind the figures in the collection. Again, another very nice shot on the back. This one almost looks like the premium format they did done a couple years ago. Again, awesome light right there. So a very nice compact box from Sideshow. I really like these. They don't take a lot of space and they are very friendly to work with. So yeah, let's go into accessories. Okay, so in terms of accessories, as you can see, it's very light. This was the original shirt, which is very, I think it's similar to what he wore in Freddy's Revenge, so part 2. The stripes were a lot darker. So yeah, that's why I gave him a custom shirt from eBay, which is more obviously consistent with the 3rd movie, Dream Warriors. So you have an extra glove right there. These are metal, which is cool, with an extra peg, which I like about Sideshow. They're giving us pegs for each hand, which is fantastic. And you have some blood right there on the blades, which is fantastic. Again, I love the glove, very accurate. Obviously each movie has a different glove type, but I think in part 3 his knives are supposed to be a lot longer, because on the NECA figure they were longer on the 7-inch and on the quarter scale, so this might be a little bit inaccurate. Then you have 2 hands, this kind of open one, and then a fist, which again would have been cool to see more hands, maybe an extra head sculpt. So yeah, it's pretty light in terms of accessories, so which is unfortunate, but yeah. Okay, taking a look at the base, and as you can see I have some issues with the base, because his shoes have this rubbery bottom to them. As you can see, it's almost like that, I don't know what happened, it's pretty much like a chemical thing where like the rubber almost fused with the base. And it's like, as you can see right there where the foot was, so that's pretty cheap. Again, the base has a nice size. It says Nightmare on Elm Street. Would have been cool if the writing would have been red, so I may have to buy a custom one for this, because you can see that's pretty much showing right there, which is weird, because like on the bottom of his feet he has no damage, but like the base does. So again, it's cheap. I don't know why they keep making these black bases. I mean, they could have at least put the name of the character right there, give us some more, maybe like a Freddy logo, maybe the movie poster or something, because this is cheap. So again, for $200, I mean, come on, you can do a better job, Sideshow. Damn! Okay, so let's take a look at this head sculpt, which is fantastic. Again, the only thing that sucks is Sideshow pretty much released these with the hat glued to his head, which I understand the design, it sits very nice, but it would have been cool to see obviously a removable hat or an extra head sculpt with maybe like an open mouth, kind of like the NECA did, 2 heads. But again, even on NECA they did a removable fedora, and even when you put that fedora on, it still looks realistic. So I don't understand. This is probably a very poor choice by Sideshow to include the fedora sculpted on his head, which is again, it's a pain in the ass. I've seen some collectors out there which pretty much remove the fedora and then complete the head and repaint everything. So again, it's a shame because this figure could have been a lot better than what it is. But the head sculpt is very awesome. You have like the missing tip right there on the ear. It could have been a little bit glossier. I mean, you have some glossiness onto the skin right there, like the pinkish parts, the reddish parts. Again, could have been a little bit glossier. Again, this is a pretty old figure, so it's not too bad. Again, originally this thing was like $1.99 and then they bumped up the price. There was also, I believe, an exclusive which had like a pointy finger for the glove, so similar to this, but it was pointing. Yeah, very nice head sculpt right there. Focus on the, yeah, it's very nasty teeth right there. As you can see, rotten teeth. The eyes are done very nicely. Yeah. Fedora looks to be accurate. Again, I haven't seen part 3 yet. I'm gonna see that soon on 4K right there. The head sculpt is very nice. Again, I would have preferred to see a second head sculpt, but as is, hopefully we're gonna get more Freddy figures from Sideshow. I don't know, it's taking this so long. They only done like one Freddy, one Jason, 2 Leatherfaces. So hopefully either them do more, or like, I don't know, maybe Trick or Treat Studios, I think, can give us more Freddy similar to like their Michael Myers. That would be awesome. So yeah. Okay, so here's a close-up of the body. Again, I removed the head, which is very easy to do. Just a big peg right there. Again, this is the custom sweater, which we're gonna look at in a second. And as I said, the bottom of the shoes are kind of rubbery. It's like a hard rubber. And I guess some of the paint got away, and that's what my base is kind of messed up. Again, very nice boots. Right there, the pants are very nice. Again, not a whole lot of weathering because again, Freddy is like a dream creature. So it wouldn't make sense if he had like, or I guess technically it kind of does. If he kills someone and you have blood splatter on his boots or something on his shirt. So, you know, again, depend on how you see. Again, very nice body. I have one issue with mine. I had to kind of improvise right there and put some padding right there in his abdomen because this was very loose. As you can see right there. It almost has the effect of a gut right there. But yeah, so I did the same in the back because otherwise this would flop. So other than that, very nice quality of the body. Minus the loose torso, but again, that's fixed. Again, double joint, knees, elbows, very nice. Very slender, which is fitting for the character. So yeah, you can pretty much do all the poses that you want. It's not gonna be restricted, and I like how the neck is pretty much sculpted with the burn marks, and that's pretty much only the neck. Would have been cool, again, if they wouldn't went to the extra mile and maybe put some, because I know obviously Sideshow did some older Freddys back in the day, and Dream Warriors, you can actually remove the shirt and you can actually see the sculpted chest with all the soles. That's kind of cheap that they didn't do that. So yeah, the good old days when you can get a figure from Sideshow for like, you know, 50-60 bucks. Those days are pretty much gone because nowadays they're pretty much 220 and up, pretty much similar prices to Hot Toys. So yeah, there's the figure all set up. Again, this is a custom sweater. I don't think it's that bad, although it creates this weird effect on the shoulders where they are maybe too bulky of what it's supposed to be look. But I like how the bits right there are all kind of torn. It's almost like crunchy. I think whoever made the sweater, I think took a lighter and maybe burn some of the bits on the edges. Same thing right there. I think it's really nice. It's again very accurate to part 3. But could have been a little bit slender like the original shirt. Which again, this one that Sideshow made reminds me a lot of Freddy's Revenge, so the second movie, because the green right there, there are some green highlights, but this is very dark, almost like between green and brown, which is accurate to the second movie. But again, the head sculpt is pretty much indicates it's from obviously Dream Warriors. So yeah, fantastic. Again, I have this guy for years, and it's the only one to scale Freddy, you know, in a while. I used to have, again, their original figures. I actually used to have the part 7 one, New Nightmare, which was actually signed by Robert Dingle himself, and I sold that for like a stupid price, and I kind of regret it now, because again, that was signed, and I believe also Robert wrote on the box, I think he was a movie quote, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch," or something like that, from one of the movies, which was awesome. So yeah, very nice proportions to the body, as you can see, very skinny legs. Yeah, looks fantastic. Sometimes, depending on how you're gonna pose the head, it's gonna leave that nasty seam right there, but again, that's manageable. And I like how articulated the head is. You know, you can do all sorts of positions, you know, which is awesome right there. Some creepy looks. But obviously the suit, the shirt looks very bright on camera right here because of the lights, but it's a little bit darker in person. So very nice. Again, pretty inexpensive figure. I think this one went up in price a few years ago, and then when they announced it again, I think it's still available on Sideshow, so it's not a bad figure. But again, it's unlike Jason, which also has a few problems, this one at least has a very decent head sculpt. When they're Jason, they've actually, you know, was a mask which was glued on his face. Originally that was supposed to have like a removable mask. It was supposed to have like two head sculpts, like a battle damage one from the axe. So I'm gonna talk about that in his review, but yeah. So yeah, it's not a bad figure. Would have been cool to see more accessories, because you only have like 3 hands, 1 glove. Again, the exclusive have like a pointy glove with the finger. Again, that base sucks, which I have to buy a custom one similar to the Michael Myers ones. I'm gonna buy one from the third movie, which is gonna be a lot nicer than this piece of crap. But yeah, make sure the guy, again guys, stay until the end of the video. I'm gonna do a montage, use different lightings on this guy, do different poses. And as usual guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, it's gonna help the channel out. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Mine is definitely, I like the Sculpt from part 2, but the story from part 3, which are my favorite. And as usual guys, stay safe and talk to you soon on the next video. Take care and bye bye.